What's going on, brothers? Hope everybody's having a good day. We about to come into 2023, but I'm still gonna be coming with the same stuff. Ain't nothing gonna change about the things that I'm talking about. I'm always going to help, always going to give you brothers advice, always going to give you brothers knowledge and wisdom because, like I've said before, brothers, we're failing. We're not only failing our women, we're also failing ourselves. We're definitely failing ourselves because we don't really have a standard on certain things, brothers, and we don't really have a culture here in America. We say we have a culture, but when you ask somebody about the culture, they're always going to talk about hip hop and some and clothing line. Those are the top things that they're going to talk about. But let me go ahead and get back. Let me go ahead and let y'all know about this case, brothers. So I am going to be chiming in on this case, but we have a lot of our women that are filing false police reports and putting a lot of brothers behind bars off of their feelings. And that's something that I'm going to talk about. And the fact that a lot of our brothers are making bad choices and giving away their seed to toxic women. It takes years, brothers, to know the woman. You're not going to know the woman within a month. You're not really going to know her in 6 months. You'll find out certain things, but once you start living with her, that's when she starts to really get relaxed with you. And then she starts to let her hair down, and that's when you start to see the toxic behavior in her. So some of the stuff you'll probably see in the beginning too, but most of the time you won't see it until you start living with her. Because that's when she gets relaxed and she starts being like, well, I could do this and I could do that. And she feels like she can get away with certain things. So, brothers, we always got to keep our head on the swivel with the woman, always, because the woman is always going to act like a child. And if they don't get their way, they're going to find their way. They're going to find a way to get their way. If they can't control you, brothers, they are going to find a way to control you. They're going to either use the court system or they're going to use the police. Our women today are pretty much they're almost like Jim Crow, brothers. They're following some of the laws of Jim Crow because they don't want you to peak at your highest level. Even though they say they do, they don't want you to. They don't want to be controlled. They don't want to be told what to do at all. So, brothers, I'm just telling you, keep your head on a swivel. But let me go ahead and get into this court case, brothers.
Plaintiff Nada Boyson dated the defendant for 7 years, and they always had trust issues because other women often called and texted him. Nada's suing because she claims after the defendant gave her $5,000 of his tax refund, he took it back. Defendant Curtis Ashley says he's a club promoter, and females often contact him, but for business purposes only. Curtis claims after Nada filed a restraining order against him, falsely accusing him of assault, he was forced to hire an attorney. So he's countersuing for his attorney fees and emotional distress.
Brothers, I've already said this already, a lot of females do false accusations on men. A lot of them. Because they are upset. So, brothers, if that ever happens to you, you need to let her go immediately. Let her go immediately. Let's continue.
Start with you.
Okay, so basically, I've been with Mr. Ashley for approximately 7 years. And I feel like although he's a good dad, he betrayed our trust by taking money away from me and my kids. And that's why we're here today.
I hope y'all heard what she said. My kids. Not our kids, my kids. Even though the brothers, that's his seed. But remember, brothers, these women are very possessive and they're narcissists. Let's continue.
So in the beginning of our relationship, everything was okay. And further down the line, I figured that we have trust issues because he had females calling his phone, and I would see text messages, and he would always be on Facebook, like commenting on other females, saying like how beautiful they are, and they would comment on his picture. And I talked to him about it, and I told him, you know, you was being disrespectful. I don't think that it would.
How many times did you have to speak
Several
to him?
times. I mean, it's been 7 years, so it's been several times that I've had to talk to him about it. But he's always like, oh, you're just being insecure, and, you know, it's nothing, we're just friends and all that stuff. And
You know what, brothers? I'm not saying that he didn't do that. More than likely he probably was getting comments from females. He probably commenting back. But the woman in America has a very jealous spirit. The woman, period. They have a very jealous spirit and they're very possessive. They're very possessive. That's why a lot of you brothers that are talking about this polygamy stuff, y'all not ready for that. I don't even advise any of you brothers to even attempt to do polygamy. There's nothing wrong with having more than one woman, but I don't advise you to do it because these women out here are bat shit crazy.
also, as far as me being in a relationship with him, I always did feel like I was a parent to him. You know,
How
we have
so?
2 kids. We have 2 kids, and I work. I go to school, and I'm a full-time mom. And he would come home from work and just sit at home and watch TV or play video games.
That's false.
And
He would come home from work and do it, but he
Right.
did work.
he did work, but I worked too, and I went to school and I took care of kids. So
worked
I mean,
one
that's
day
a
out the
full-time
week.
job
And
itself.
when you mention it to him, what would he say?
I'm tired. I just work 8 hours. You don't do hard labor like I do. I just need an hour to myself. I just need to go to sleep. And I'm like, but I've been home with the 1-year-old all day. You know, he's walking around. He's not letting me sleep. I still have to cook.
What shift did you work?
Second shift. When he got home, I would go to work. Before I go to work, I would cook.
And where
Because he
would
would
he
come
be?
home around 3:00. I would leave around 5 to go to work. So I would be cooking and trying to do my son's homework with my son before he went to school because I know that I
And
could
what
do
would he be doing?
sitting down watching TV.
Okay, and when did he go to work then?
He went to work in the morning time,
And got home when?
around 3:00.
Okay.
And I'll
then-
go to work from 5 to 1, 11.
Okay, so he come home at 3:00 and
Right.
relax, and he said, can I relax for an hour?
Yes.
All right, so he come
But you
home.
can't
after-
relax?
Hold
Okay.
on, man.
Brothers, let me say this. A lot of our women do not want to be wives. They want the title of wife, but they don't want to be a wife. They don't want the duties of being a wife. A lot of our women are like that, brothers. I can't make this up. And you already heard the young lady already say what she said. She's upset because the brother comes home from work. He comes home, he's working about 8 to 12 hours a day. And he only asks his girl for 1 hour of rest time, and she's upset about that. But let's continue.
He said, I'm just trying to make sense of what you're saying because
Okay.
I'm not going to allow you to paint the man as a trifling loser when it sounds like he said he's working all day and when he comes home he just to give me an hour break. That's what you said.
I don't
He
get a
said,
break,
can I
sir.
just, pardon me?
I don't get a break.
Okay, let's move on. Go ahead, sir.
First of all, I mean, like she said, our relationship did have a lot of downfalls. You know, I did club
By
promotions.
the way, a man who doesn't do anything around the house, don't stay with him 7 years. Get somebody who will do something.
Well,
don't stay with a
I had
lazy
hope
guy for
that
7
he would
years,
change.
man. Pardon me?
Let me say this, brothers. See, a lot of our women do not understand about being a wife at all. So either you complain, you have our women that complain about a man not doing shit. She's actually complaining because he's working. He even asked her for 1 hour, 1 hour of rest after he gets home, and she's complaining because she doesn't want to do it because she's complaining about her duties as being a wife, taking care of the children and cooking. That's bad. Again, now these women today are looking at being a wife as a slave. They want to be equal. Nobody in this world is equal, not one person. Let's continue.
Pardon me?
I hope that he would
For
change.
7 whole years, you hope that he would change.
I mean, I was young
All
when
right.
we started.
Gotcha, man. Go ahead.
I did club promotions, and I would have females contact me for business. You know, she would argue about it, claiming that I'm cheating. Yes, I did comment on some females' picture that were friends of mine. Compliment, yes, the picture is beautiful. You know, nothing.
Come on,
sexy.
man. You're a club promoter. You know you're out there chasing women.
No, not.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No. These are my friends that I knew for years.
Man, get that to her.
Not the ones that she.
Give her that
she's talking
story.
about. Not the ones she's talking about.
I'm a club promoter, and all of them, I did comment a little on how they look. Man, you talking about how fine they are. You a club promoter.
No, I don't go that far. I don't go that far. But as far as, you know, her feeling like she's the adult in a relationship, I mean, I take care of my kids. I love my kids.
She said that.
I'm a good father. When she leaves from work, I take care of the kids. I cook, I clean. I would do 12 hours at work, come home, it's not even a minute, and she's, why you're not cleaning?
That's the impression I get.
Can I get at least an hour break, take a nap?
She said that.
You know,
But if I'm getting
That's
ready-
certainly treating him like a kid when he says he wants an hour, and you say, no. No hour. Get to work. That's what you do to the kids. You're
Gives
right.
him a mop.
But if I'm getting ready for work, and I have
We're
a
not doing
1-year-old
this anymore. That's enough. We're not going to nickel and dime and see who took a half-hour break instead of an hour. Let's get to the breach of contract you're suing him for.
Okay, so while we were living together, we were doing our taxes, but he decided to do his taxes first. And we had a verbal agreement that because I stopped working from 20 hours to 35 hours because it was overwhelming. I was only doing just 1 day a week because I was still going to school and I was still taking care of the kids. So I told him that we agreed that since he was getting about $8,000 back, that because he was about to move out maybe in another month, that he would get $3,000 and I would get the remaining, which was approximately about $5,000.
That's a lot of money. Brother, what you doing? You about to get $8,000 by yourself? I need to talk to you about doing some taxes. Let's continue.
false.
The money was going to be to take care of the kids, and I had a car that needed to be fixed.
Okay, so it was basically an agreement between the two of you. When I get my income tax,
Right.
I'm going to give you $3,000. Is that what you said, or how much?
He's going to get $3,000. I would get $5,000 because I was on.
All right, he said, I'll give you $5,000 when I get my income. So this is
Right.
based on an agreement?
Yes.
All right.
Do 12 hours at work.
So what happened?
On March the 13th, he actually found a text message from another guy on my phone.
Okay, brother. So let me say this real quick. So earlier she said that they had trust issues, and she made sure and blamed him and said that he was the one messing with a bunch of females. But she ain't mentioned about anything that she did. You know, that's what she's about to do now. Again, she tried to paint him as the bad guy, which she did through almost this whole court case. Let's continue.
He got upset. We had an argument, and the police was called because one of the next door neighbors called the police because I guess they heard arguing and yelling. They came by, and no charges were pressed. So they ended up leaving.
Okay, you're getting to the legal issues. Let's continue with the breach of contract. What happened with the money?
I went out of town maybe 2 or 3 days after that, and when I came back, I filed a restraining order
Why?
because of what he did.
What did he do?
He pushed me. It was an altercation, and he pushed me.
Before the police came?
Right.
Okay.
That's the reason
Let's see
that
the
the next
police
door.
report. Let's see the police report. Now, why don't you
So I want y'all to keep in mind what she just did. So they had allegedly they had an altercation. According to her, she got pushed. Then she went on vacation for 6 days, and then she filed a restraining order when she came back 6 days later. Brothers, you have a lot. I've already said this, and I'm going to say it again. You have a lot of brothers that are behind bars because of false accusations, because of off of the female's feelings. Oh, so you have to understand that if the woman cannot control you, they will use the white man and the court system to do it for them. That's exactly what they do. But I'll let the judge talk about that.
Why don't you just read to me the part where you told them he pushed you?
6 days
Okay.
later.
All right, whenever you told the police that, let me see. Oh, you told them 6 days later?
6 days later.
You didn't tell, hold on. When the
Okay.
police came, when
Right.
you called the police that day.
Well, no. I didn't call the police that day. Someone else didn't.
All right, so when they came,
Right.
what did you tell them?
I told them that we were just arguing
Why didn't you tell him he had pushed you?
because I didn't want him to I didn't want him to get arrested.
So 6 days later, why did you want him to
I
get
went out of
arrested?
town and I thought about it, and I felt like it was it wasn't right for him to do that. So
It wasn't right for him to push you.
Yeah, put his
You hadn't
hands on
thought
me.
about it when the police came the first time. You thought it was right then.
no, I didn't think it was right.
So
but
why
I
did it
said I
take you
didn't want him
6
to get-
days?
I didn't want him to get arrested. I loved him, so I mean, regardless if we had
All right, so why
altercation,
6?
I didn't want
Hold
him.
on. So why 6 days later did
Brothers, it's not, you heard what she said. I loved him. Brothers, these women do not love you. All these females that be talking about I love black men, they lying. They are lying. They have no problem putting you behind bars so that way they can do whatever the hell they want to do and have control over you. So don't believe when these females be talking about, oh, I love my black men. These are the same females that be disrespecting black men and will put you behind bars. I can't make this shit up. She said it. You think she's the only so-called? She thinks she's the only black woman that talks like that?
you decide you did want him to get arrested?
No, I didn't say I wanted him to get arrested.
When
I
you
just
tell
wanted
so
him to be
when you tell
straightened.
hold on, when you tell the police you were assaulted, that's what they do. They arrest the people who assault you.
I went for a restraining order, sir.
You did what many people do, men and women. They find a way to get at the man that they're mad at. And it's very easy to go down and say, give me a restraining order. And you waited 6 days to go and get the restraining order.
Brothers, it's very easy for the woman to go down there. Even though the judge is not going to say it, it's very easy for the woman to go down to the police station, get a restraining order, and have you arrested. For the man, yeah, it could happen too, but he's going to have a lot of evidence. And it's not even guaranteed that she's going to get arrested. You're better off just getting a restraining order. But let's continue.
I was out of town.
Okay, so when you came back, what did you
That's
think was
when I
going to
did.
happen?
When I came back, that's when I.
What did you think would happen when you came back to cause you to get a restraining order?
That he wasn't able to just come because he still had the key to my house. I didn't want him to be able to just to come back to the house and maybe just to come in or get the car or just because when I came back, I found out he left and he ended up taking the like the table, the washer and dryer, and like little stuff from the house, just
Did they
like
belong
pictures
to
and
him?
stuff.
Man, look, if that brother did do that, that shit petty. If this nigga took a damn washer and dryer and a damn table, you petty nigga. Let's continue.
It was both of us.
Okay.
Both of us, yeah.
All right, let me hear your side, sir.
Okay. I never had an agreement of a certain amount that I was going to give her. I agreed that I would help her,
Help
pay,
her.
help
Help
Nada,
her take care of your kids?
help her pay the bills because she wasn't
You live
working.
there.
No. When I moved out, I agreed to her that.
No, we're talking about when you lived there. She
Okay.
says when you lived there, the two of you decided that she would get $5,000.
No, I agreed that I would help her out until she.
There was
gets
never
a
a
job.
mention of $5,000?
No.
You
sir.
never said, I'll give you $5,000.
No.
All right, what do you want to tell me about this restraining order? You have a copy?
No, I don't have a copy. This is the only one I have.
Go
It's-
ahead.
Okay.
You don't have a copy of the restraining order?
No, it disappeared out of my car.
Go ahead.
The day that I seen the text message, I got upset. I was yelling. We was arguing. I never touched her. The police came. They asked me if she hit me or anything like that. If I wanted to press any charges, I told them no. They asked her the same thing. She said
I know.
no.
That's
And y'all notice the man most of the time men are not going to press charges on their woman. They're not. And I'm not saying that you should. Not whether she hit him or not. I am not condoning that you should press charges on your woman. But most men are very easygoing. We're very logical thinkers. So we know what's probably going to happen. So we don't want to put no charges on the woman, but the woman has no problem doing that to you. That's why when a lot of these females be talking about that they love black men, and I know I'm repeating myself, don't believe that shit. Do not. you might want to start getting some information about their last relationship, and not from her ex.
That's why I gave her a hard time. I'm tired of people going to a court saying, I want a restraining order. Cause a man all these problems when all they've done is had an argument. Restraining orders in many, many instances are used to retaliate at somebody you're mad at. It's used all the time, all the time. And we're going to find out what happened in that restraining order. First of all,
I didn't say, the judge said that all the time. I can't make this up, brothers.
let's get by this $5,000. You have anything showing he agreed to pay you $5,000?
Not 5,000, but I have an audio stating that he was going to pay me the money back. It doesn't
$5,000. Does it say how much?
It doesn't say specifically.
Okay, he says he agreed to pay you some money.
So how much did he agree to pay me?
Sorry?
It wasn't a certain amount. It was just until she gets a job.
All right, but you did pay her some money?
Yes, I gave her.
Okay. Did he give you some money?
When did he give me
He
money?
never gave you any money?
I gave you $700.
Hold on. He never gave you any money?
After the income tax came?
Yes.
Yes.
He did.
Yes.
See, this is another thing that I be talking about, brothers. Whenever you ask these females a question, you see, and that is why I like Judge Mathis. He's very direct. Judge Judy's the same way too. They're very direct. They ask you a question. Most of the time, it's a yes or no answer, and then she wants to go all over the place. And the judge asked her, "How did he give you money?" And she's dodging the question, or she tried to say no. So, again, brothers, this is why I say you got to be direct, or just don't have no conversation with these women, because they're never going to give you the right answer. But let's continue.
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
To pay my rent.
Now let's get to your counterclaim for a lawyer fee. I suspect this means this is dealing with the restraining order that I believe she falsely put on you.
I had the restraining order put on me, and that I wouldn't be able to see my kids for a whole year, and I cannot allow that. You know, I take care of my kids on Saturdays. It's me and the boys' days. She knows that's important to me. And for that restraining order, I couldn't allow that. And the money I used for a lawyer for the restraining order, and I did beat that case.
What happened?
Brothers, I'm gonna say this too. Females will use your children against you. If they know, because they know how much. Most of the time, these fathers want to be in their child's life or their children's life, and the female will use that child against you. They'll do, if they're mad at you, they'll use whatever it takes. Again, they'll use the child, they'll use the police, they'll use the court system to get at you. And it's sad that our own women will do that. But again, these are the same women that claim that they love you. Let's continue.
What did they say
the day of
the hearing?
The day of, she dropped the case. On the day of.
Ma'am?
I was doing it for my kids. That's why.
I had the restraining order.
Now she's doing it for her kids. Really? Now you're doing it for your kids. Kind of sad. Very, very sad.
Plaintiff, not a boyson, dated the defendant, and she claims after they broke up, the defendant pushed her, and she was forced to file a restraining order against him.
Ma'am?
And brothers, let me put this out there too. This is exactly why the Most High gave the woman the maternal DNA, the maternal DNA, so that way they would care about somebody else besides themselves. The real narcissists are the women, not men. Men are not. There are some men that are narcissists, but the majority of narcissists are women.
Ma'am, I'm going to decide that you retaliated against him for an argument you all had. You say that he pushed you, and 6 days later, that's when you decided you need a restraining order. 6 days later, then you dismiss it. So I'm going to conclude that you did it to retaliate against him like people do so often. I'm going to conclude that you are one of those people. And
I'm actually glad the judge put it out there. Again, a lot of our women do this to get back at the man because they're upset and they're in their feelings. Again, brothers, y'all got it. You better watch out who you give your seed to. Don't just give your seed to anybody because most of these women, especially today, and we about to come into 2023, most of our women are bat shit crazy. They have no care for life. They only care about self.
And therefore, I'm going to grant you your lawyer fee and your emotional distress claim of $3,400, and I'm going to dismiss yours. Have a good day.
I'm done. As long as he take care of his kids, I'm fine.
I'll always be there for her support. She is the mother of my child, and I'll always be there for my kids to support them also. As far as our relationship, I don't want no negativity because of the fact of the kids, but, that's her decision of what she want to do. But as far as me, I'm going to be a good father to my kids.
As you should be, brother. You should be a good father to your kids. You have sons. But again, brothers, I just want to just put this out there to show you that this is the mentality of a lot of our females. I know that, anybody that's watching is going to be like, oh, especially these females, oh, I don't act like that. I don't do that. You're lying. 99.9% of our females are like this. And I know that's a large number. I'm just making up numbers, but they're like this. They're selfish. They don't care. So again, brothers, y'all need to keep your head on a swivel on who you're dealing with and who you give your seed to. Because a lot of us are making stupid ass decisions. And then it bites us in the ass in the future. So on that note, brothers, I don't have nothing else. Of course, I'll continue to do videos like this for you, brothers, because we got to educate ourselves. And that's why I'm an elder. Y'all keep it real. Keep doing your thing. 2023 is coming up. Don't drink too much. As a matter of fact, drink wine. Don't drink no Ciroc. Master Slim is out.